Okay, good morning, everybody. This is Ganesh. So now I try to start my session. So in the last class, we are discussing about what is a DBMS and what are the advantages of DBMS and what are the drawbacks of file processing system. Okay, and what are the applications of database management system and what are the types of users also. Am I right? So in the case of DBMS, we are based upon the different types of users. So that means here we are allowed different types of users according to their purpose. So here we are mainly considered application users, naive users, sophisticated users, and another one is DBA. So these are the main users. Okay, and another one is the specialized users also. Okay, in the last class we are already discussing about this. Okay, just to try to conclude. So what we discussed in the last class. Okay, application programmers means the name is implies here. They who's which type of users are interacting with the application. Okay, which type of users are interacting with the application. So those type of users are referred as a application users. So that means these are based upon the another application. So that means these are run actually where another program. So that another program runs the functionality of the database. Okay, so please just wait 1 minute. Just wait 1 minute. Okay, thank you. Okay, in the last class we are discussing about this. So that means which users are based upon to the another application. So like for example maybe C or CPP or Java. So actually these are run these users run the another program. So that program using the embedded SQL. So that means including the functionality of the database into that another programming language. If you are run the programming language, then it will be runs the functionality of the database. That type of the developers or programmers will be referred as application programmers. Okay, these queries are converted into the object code to communicate with the database. For example, writing a C program to generate the report of employees who are working in the particular department will involve query to fetch the data from the database. Then how we can write the query actually? So that means here we are generating the report of the employees who are working in the particular department. For example, maybe CSC. Okay, then how we can fetching the records select star from EMP where DEPT equal to CSC. Then it will be display. So who are interacting with the who are working in the CSC department, am I right? So only those persons details will be displayed. But this query is included in another language, either it is C or CPP or Java. So that type of the functionality performed by using application programmers. So next one is the sophisticated users. So that means these users directly interacting with the database to solving their problems. For example, previously I'm saying one query, am I right? So that means I am also a sophisticated user and you are also a sophisticated user. Why? Because so you know about the queries. So if you're having any type of the problem, you're directly interacting with the software. Okay. So that type of the users will be referred as a sophisticated users. And these users are also referred as satisfied users also. Okay, another one is the specialized users. So specialized users means these are very special. Why? Because so these type of users are developing complex applications. So that means, for example, maybe all members, maybe so we are having already a Gmail account, am I right? But we don't know any type of the programming. So even though we are not having any type of the programming knowledge, so we are easily creating the Gmail account. Am I right or not? So how we are creating the Gmail account actually? So initially we are searching the Google. So create Google account. Then it will be giving some sign up page. So in that sign up page, we are filling the details. After that, so just we are press the submit button. Am I right? So if you press the submit button, then automatically creating the Google Gmail account. So that means here that type of interfaces are developed by using specialized users. So that means these are reducing the nothing but here. So they are providing the usability in front of the end users. Okay. So next one is the standalone users. These are based upon to the directly SQL. So only the database purpose for we are using the standalone users. Okay. So next one is the naive users. So naive users means which users not having the programming knowledge. So the type of the users will be referred as naive users. So that means these type of users definitely based upon one interface. Okay, so with the interface only these users connecting with the software. Okay, for example, we can consider any type of the example. For example, if it is a railway reservation, so if we want to reserve a train on the particular day, then how we can reserving the train? So simply go to the railway station and asking that particular person. Then he will be verifies how many number of trains are available on that day, and how many seats are available, and how much of fare is there. Am I right? So how he can able to say all these things with the help of interface, but he is not having any type of the programming knowledge. In the same way, if we are going to some DMart or Reliance Mart, so or some other marts, so they are easily receiving the bill according to our items. I'm right or not? So that means even though they are not having any type of the programming knowledge, they can easily performing the things with the help of some interface. So that type of users will be referred as naive users. Okay, and the most important user is DBA. So DBA means database administrator. So in the last class also I'm saying about to this. So most of the time asking this question, what are the roles of DBA? Explain with examples. So in the exam point of view, even though asking about any, even though not asking about any type of the example, better you try to give the example. Then you next you give the explanation for the example. Okay, and if you having any type of the chance, you can write some queries also. For example, in the case of DBA, what is the main purpose of DBA? So before entering the user, so that user will be verified by DBA, database administrator, to control the entire data in that particular organization. So that means, so whether which type of users are accessing the data, and which type of permissions are assigned to that particular users, and which are so or maybe which are to be deleted and which are to be included. So these type of things are done by database administrator. At the same time, physical level data abstraction is also concerned with the database administrator. And another thing, here you try to use some queries also. For example, he is the responsible for to allowing the users, am I right? So that means he is giving the chance to creating the users, and he is giving the permissions. So which type of users accessing the data, am I right? So that means how we are creating the users. In the last class also I'm saying about that. So create username identified by password. Okay, for example, just to try to consider an example, create user. For example, username is Ganesh. Okay, create user Ganesh identified by Ganesh. So that means here username is Ganesh and password is Ganesh. Then the user is created. Then now we try to give the permissions for to that particular user. Okay, so now grant, grant privileges, grant all privileges to Ganesh. Then that particular user can able to performing each and every operation in a database. So like maybe insertion, deletion, updation, modification, so whatever it may be. So otherwise, so we can restricting the permissions also. So just only we try to grant insert permission, so grant insert privilege, grant delete privilege, so like this. Am I right or not? Okay, so that means this is also the one of the role for the DBA, and he is the responsible for to maintaining the database, and he is the responsible for to allowing the concurrent transactions. Even though we are allowing the concurrent transactions, so try to reduce the occurrence of loss of the data. And another thing here, he is the responsible for to recover the data whenever occurring the failures, and he will be try to provide some documentation if any new person is taking the charge. Then he can also able to train up with the help of the documentation. Okay, so and if any type of the upgradation is needed, okay, if any type of the deletion is needed, if any type of the including things are needed, so all these things are mainly based upon the database administrator. For every organization, one of the person will be act like as a DBA. Okay, that person will be responsible for to cover the entire data. Okay, so that is the database administrator roles. So here if you observe here, so we are already representing is installing and upgrading the DBMS service. So that means installation and upgrading. Okay. So next one is the design and implementation. Design and implementation means nothing but so which type of things are needed, which type of things are not needed. So in that type of it will be performing the designing, and performance tuning means nothing but unnecessary data will be removed from the database, and duplication data will be removed from the database. So that is also the responsibility of DBA. And migrate database service. So in some type of situations, we need to perform the migrate with the some other service. Then also that is also the responsibility of DBA. Backup and recovery. If any type of the failures are occurred, then we try to back up the data and recover the data from the failures and provide the security and documentation. So all these are the responsibilities of database administrator. Okay, now we try to discuss about the data model. Okay, so in the last class, in the last classes also we're already discussing about this. So here we are considered mainly ER data model and relational data model and hierarchical data model and network data model and object-based data model. So in this type of here we are considered different types of data models. So first of all, what is a data model? So data model is nothing but to modeling the data or to giving the easier description to the end users. So that means the data model is nothing but giving the description and to the end users. Okay, and it will be deals with the low level structure details. Okay, so data model is a collection of high level data description constructs that hide many low level storage details. So that means it will be hide the low level storage details and it will be giving the data description. So that means, for example, if we want to describe so some data, so that will be possible through using some data model. Okay, so data model is a collection of concepts for describing the data. So underlying the structure of database is the data model, the collection of conceptual tools for describing the data relationships and data semantics. So here we are considered to describing the data and to describe the data relationships and to describe the data semantics. Here we are using the data model. Okay, so that is the main purpose. Okay, data models define how the logical structure of the database is modeled. Okay, data models are fundamental entities introduce the abstraction in a DBMS. Data models defines how data is connected to the each other, how they are processed and stored inside the system. So that means here data models defines how the logical structure of the database is modeled. So that means here the data model can be able to specify the structure of the data and fundamental of the entities. Okay, and the data models defines how the data is connected to the each other and how they are processed and stored inside the system. Okay, so all of you please wait 1 minute. I will try to continue the session. So please just wait 1 minute. Sorry for the disturbance. So my continue my session now. Okay, so we're already discussing about this topic. Okay, so in the case of data models, so these are used for to giving the data description, or we are giving to some shape to the data. Okay, so in the case of your data model, we are representing with the some symbols. I'm right. For example, if it is an entity representing the rectangle, if it is an attribute representing with an ellipse. Okay, if it is a strong entity, so representing with a normal rectangle. If it is a weak entity, use it represented with the double rectangle. So if it is a multi-value attribute, represented with the double lines of the ellipse. If it is a derived attribute, represented with the dashed ellipse. All right. In this type of here, we are representing with the Different types of symbols are used in the case of ER data model to describing the data. So in which type of a data is existed in the database organization. Okay. So now we try to see. So data models defines how the logical structure of the database is modeled. Data models are fundamental entities introduce the abstraction in a DBMS. Data models defines how the data is connected to the each other and how they are processed and stored inside the system. So that means in which type of a data is connected and in which type of data is organized. So all these things are we are able to easily describing through data model. Okay. So next one is the first one, relational data model. This model is proposed by Card. Okay, at the time of 1970s. So this is the one of the best model, and we are already using this model, right? So we're already using so many queries. So here in the case of relational data model, the data in the form of relations. What is the meaning of relation actually? Relation means table. So nothing but the data can be represented as a set of columns and set of rows. Okay, simply it is a table or relation. In relational model, the schema for a relation specifies its name, the name of each field, attribute or column, the type of each field. So in the case of table, how we are representing the data? First of all, we try to give the name for that particular table. Next, we try to give for the each and every name for particular attribute. At the same time, we try to assign some data type also. So as an example, student information in university database may be stored in a relation with the following schema. If you observe here, so students is an entity. Okay, next our students is in a table. Then which type of attributes are considered here? Student ID, student name, login, age. So now which type of data type is assigned to particular to the student? In the same way, if you are observed in the second diagram, here we are representing the first row. So that will be referred as a attributes or columns or domains. Okay, so please remember this in the same way. So a number of rows are tuples, so are records. So all these are the same. Okay. So next one is the network data model. So data network model means nothing but this is also same like as a relational data model, but here the data will be connected with the links. Okay, so you these links can be viewed as a pointers. If you observe here, for example, some particular student, next is the location, and maybe the next is the department. So that department will be connected to the another type of record. So in this type of here, the data will be represented in the form of links. Okay, so that means the data can be represented in the form of records, but these records connected to different types of links. Okay, in the same way, hierarchical model is nothing but same as the network data model. Okay, in the hierarchical model also represented by collection of records and relationships among data are connected by D-links. Okay, this is also same like as a network data model, but here we are representing some hierarchy. So that means one of the node will be treated as the root node, and remaining two nodes will be treated as the left node and right node. Okay. In that type of way, here we are maintaining the links, and these links also here viewed as a pointers. Okay. So if we are considered, the center one is treated as root, and next one is the left child, and next one is the right child. Now again, the right child having the some particular value. Okay, in the same way, so left side also having the some particular value. So in this type of way, here we are maintaining the hierarchy. So that's why this data model will be referred to as hierarchical data model. So after now we are discussing about four types of data models: ER data model, relational data model, and another one is the network data model, and another one is the tree structure data model or a hierarchical data model. Okay. Next, ER model. So ER model, what is an ER model? Okay, entity relationship data model. Okay, so that means it will be used for to representing the relationship between one entity to the another entity. Okay, so that can be referred as a ER data model. Okay, and another thing here we are using an entity. What is an entity? Entity is a thing or object into the real world. So what is an attribute? So which type of thing is having an attributes? For example, so maybe we are discussing about the phone. So what is the weight of the phone, and what is the company of the phone? What is the cost of the phone? So like this, all these are the attributes for the phone. So I'm right or not? So that means here we are nothing but here we are defining the data elements and relationships specified by the system. Okay, develops a conceptual design for the database. It also develops a very simple and easy to design view form of data. Okay, so in this type of a, we are representing the ER diagrams. We are already consider some ER diagrams, right? So how we are representing the relationship between them, and how we are consider the entity relationship, entity set, and how we are maintaining the relationship set, and which type of relationships are possible. So if the if any so that means here that means in the case of ER data model, we are consider different types of futures. Okay, another one is the view of data. Okay, we're all discussing in the last class. So levels of abstraction in a DBMS. So view of data means nothing but a data abstraction. Here the data abstraction can be achieved in the three types of ways. So those are nothing but physical level data abstraction, large scale level data abstraction, and another one is external level data abstraction. Data abstraction is a process of representing the essential features without including the implementation details. So there are three levels of abstraction. Okay, if you observe here, physical level abstraction, logical level abstraction, and external level abstraction. The same physical level abstraction is also referred as internal level abstraction, and another one is the physical schema or internal schema. So in the same way, conceptual level literalization. Okay, so logical level abstraction, conceptual level abstraction. Okay, a logical schema, a conceptual schema. Okay, next one is the external level abstraction. So that will be used for to giving, so which is necessary to the end users. Only that type of data will be sent to the users. Okay, that is nothing but essential users. So if you observe this diagram, you can easily understood. So initially here we are interconnected with the physical database schema or physical level of the abstraction. So that means that the type of the abstraction is concerned with how the data is actually stored in the database. So actually it is a so confidential thing. Why? Because if you know about any others, so the same information, so then maybe the chance occurring the loss of data. For example, so maybe our university. Okay, our university data is hide somewhere. I'm right or not? But we are able to retrieve the data from the database, but we don't know where the data is stored actually. So the type of deals are the type of things will be done by the physical level data abstraction. So that means the type of physical level abstraction is concerned with the how the data is actually stored. This is very important in the exam point of view. Please remember this. Okay. So that means when we are storing some data into the database, so first of all, it will be assigned with some indices. So based upon that indices or maybe some other indexes, so here we are easily retrieving the data from the database. Okay. And another thing is the conceptual schema. Conceptual schema means nothing but what type of data is stored into the database and how we are storing the data into the database. Okay, next one is the external level abstraction. So that means the same type of database will be provided to the different types of views. So we're already discussing about view. So how we are creating the view or not. Am I right? Okay. So in the case of view level abstraction, so here we are provide which type of data is required to the user. Only the type of data is sent from the database. For example, if you are consider the student database, maybe some of the companies asking about the student details. Am I right? Maybe some of the companies asking about student number and student name and marks. Maybe some of the companies asking about intermediate marks also. So in some type of situation, maybe asking about some other details like mail IDs or phone numbers or address. I'm right. So that means which type of data is required to the end user. Only that type of data sent from the database. That type of thing will be done through using the views. How we are creating the views actually. So in the case, in the last classes, we're already discuss how we are combine the tables, how we are combine the different tables data into a single table. But the type of data is we are not able to store. Am I right? So if you want to again, so then again we try to write the query. But in the case of view, so we need not to write again. So that is also we can view like as a table. And another thing, if you are performing any type of the changes in the parent table, that will be reflected to the child table also. Okay, we will try to observe with the practical session in the next classes. Okay, so how we are creating the view, actually create view name, and we try to mention which type of columns are needed, and we are having the chance to change the column name also. So for example, if we are develop some project, so then that project details we need to send the users, then we need not to give the total details for to the end users. Just only we are creating some view, so that view will be sent to the users. Then users will easily understood. So and they can retrieve which type of data is needed to them. Okay, in this type of a here, the database will be provide in three types of data abstractions are there. So this is also very important in the exam point of view. So, and another thing, in the case of first unit, maybe the chance asking the questions, what are the differences between file system versus and DBMS? And second question is data models. And third question is data abstraction. And the fourth question is database structure. So these are the important questions in the exam point of view. Okay, and maybe we are not having the chance to leave any one of the topic from the unit. Why? Because so definitely asking one question from the one unit. Am I right? So better you try to practice, and in the exam point of view also, this is very important subject, so we can easily remember this. And another thing, this is the core subject, so you please try to remember all these topics. So that's why I try to repeat the number of times. Okay, for example, we are storing customer information in a customer table. At physical level, these records can be described as a blocks of storage, bytes, gigabytes, terabytes in memory. So these details are hidden from the programmers. Why? Because so here we are only maintains the storage details only. So where you are storing the data, how we are retrieving the data, which type of indices are needed, how much of occupation is there. So all these things are done into the physical level data abstraction. In the case of logical level abstraction, here we are describing the fields, attributes, and their data types and relationships among them. So the programmers generally works at this level because they are aware of such things about the database systems. So next one is the view level or external level. Okay. So at the view level, user just interact with the system with the help of graphical user interface and enter the details at the screen. They are not aware of how the data is stored and what data is stored, and such details are hidden from them. Okay, so next topic is data independence. So data independence means nothing but so the ability to modify the scheme definition in one level without affecting its scheme definition in higher level is called data independence. So that means here we are performing the modifications in a one level, but those type of updations are not giving any type of the impact to the its higher level. So that can be referred as the data independence. Here we are using two types of data independence here. So one is the logical level data independence, and another one is the physical data independence. So in the case of logical data independence, so here we are based upon to the nothing but here we are performing the modifications at the nothing but conceptual level. But those type of changes are not giving any type of the impact to the its higher level of the view level. So in the same way, in the case of physical data independence, we are performing the modifications in the physical level, but those type of modifications are not affecting into the conceptual level or maybe the logical level of the abstraction. So that can be referred as a physical data independence. Okay, if you are observed here, some of the differences are there. It is a high level data independence, so which is logical data independence. Why? Because it is a central level. But in the case of physical, it is a low level. It is related to the conceptual schema. So why? Because in the case of logical data abstraction, here we are which type of things are we are preferred. So what type of data it is and what type of relationship is there and what type of attributes are there. Okay, so these type of things are to design the schema, am right? Okay, and wherein different logical views of data are provided to the different set. But in the case of physical level data abstraction, it is only concerns with the storage details. The changes made back to the conceptual schema without affecting its external schema. So that is nothing but data independence. So physical data independence means nothing but we are performing the modifications done at one level, but those type of effects are so not sent to the its higher level. In the same way, physical level also. So if we are performing the modifications in the physical level, so those type of changes are not giving any type of the effect to the higher level of the conceptual level. In this type of here we are observing these differences. Okay, I'm already posting this PPT in our group, so better you try to practice one time. All of you, please just wait. So I will continue.